Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to create an MVP token system using the three-tiered architecture to power our button. For tier 1 we are going to create color, sizing and border tokens. For tier 2 we are going to create aliases for background color and content color, which will be used for text. For tier 3 we are going to create tokens for the button components. Number 1, button background color. 2, button content color. 3, button padding. 4, button border radius. I've created 3 collections to match our tiers, so let's start with tier 1 tokens. We're going to start with our color variables or tokens. So the first one I want to create is going to be neutral. So I'm going to call this color neutral 000. And this is going to be my white color, and we already have white here, so I'm okay with this one. I'm going to just press enter. While this one is highlighted, I'm going to hold down shift and press enter so I can duplicate it. What I want to do here is I want to create the base color for the website. The website uses a gray color, and for the high contrast version it uses white. So this is going to be our base 100, and I think it's CB C9 I believe. So we're done with our neutral colors. Next we are going to create our accents. Color, create variables. This thing is a little too big for me. Oh, come on. Right. So next we are going to go to color, and we want to create for our accent. So this is going to be, okay, we're already in color, so no need to put color. Accent, this is going to be my base accent, so it's going to be 500. I'll tab, then I'll fill it up. I think this one is, let me check, I think I have it written down, 3B8256. Now we're going to create a light version of this accent, so I'm going to hold shift and press enter again, and this is going to be 400, and this light version is 549477. Yes, it looks lighter. So we're done with our colors for tier 1. We're now going to move to spacing. I'm going to come to all variables, create new variable, and this is going to be number since it's spacing. I'm going to call it spacing /8 tab, and its value is going to be 8. Shift enter. We want to create 16 tab 16. We're done with spacing. Next we're still on variables. We're going to create for our, I think it's a border. Yes, we're going to create border. Borders have radius and width, so this is just going to be for border radius, and this one is going to be, okay, let's create for 0 just for the fun of it. Enter, and we'll duplicate this. What I need is just 4. So I believe I'm done with all my tier 1 variables for this MVP button. Let's move to tier 2, and we're going to start with color. So the first one we're going to do is color background, and we're going to do an accent default. When we come here, we're going to tie this to our default accent. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to have a light version because our accent has 3 versions. We have the base accent, we have the light, and we have the dark. So the default light is going to be the 400. Next, we are going to create for our content. We're going to come back to color. We're going to create content. This one is going to be content defaults. I'm going to have content defaults tab. Like I said, the default for our content on this website is the gray. This is the default. We now have a light version, or the high contrast version, but I'll just call it light. And I'm going to connect this to our tier 1 primitive. We are done with tier 2. Then for our tier 3, this is where we are now going to create variables for our button. We're going to start with color. I like starting with color for no good reason. We're going to have button color background, and we're going to start with accent. Okay, no, what we're going to do here is our button, since we have just one button, I'm just going to call it default. And even if you had multiple button background colors, maybe you had some that were accent, some were base, some were brand, you could have background color brand, background color accent, and what have you. But what I'm going to do here is, since we just have a main color for our button, I'm just going to call it default. So our color, our button's color background default is going to be the same as our tier 2 accent, right? So let's duplicate it. Then now we want a hover state, and this is just going to be the light version. So when we hover, we're done with this. Then still on color, I think next is content. Some people call it text. I just prefer to use content because this site is small. So the same, instead of text and links, I'll just have content, and content will be used for links, text, icons, and whatever, since it's a very small website. So here we have button. Okay, no, we're already in color, so we're going to do content default. Now for our button, the default content color is the high contrast version. It's not the default for the website. Default for website is gray, default for button is white. So we're going to use our tier 2. The color content light version is going to be the default for our button. I know this might be a little bit confusing, but bear with me. If we look at the the default for the button is lighter than our normal gray text. For the hover state is actually the same, and I'm not going to do hover, so I don't need to add it here, but just for the fun of it, let me just put hover, because it's not going to change. But if it was going to change, we'll come and change it here. So we've done our colors. What else do we need? I think we're done. Okay, no, let's go back to our tier 1 and see. We have our colors, we have our spacing, we have our border. Yes, here we are done with our button colors. Then what we need to add is padding. Let's create a variable. We're going to call this padding inline. We're going to connect this to, I shall start with padding block. Okay, let me just rename it to block. Block is top and bottom. Yes. So let's call this block. I just like starting with block because of the way it's written in CSS. Starts with block. If you have two values. So for inline, we're going to use our spacing 16. So we've done our padding. Next, we need our button. You don't need to be clicking here. As long as it's highlighted, it's going to add it below. We're going to have our border radius. So borders have width also. So this would be border radius, and this would be the default for the button, I believe. So, and this is going to be connected to where do we have radius, where we did our 0 and 4. So this is going to be the default. And I think we're done with our MVP. So let's try to create our button. Reference guide. We want our button color text. You go to libraries, you click button, and we want our content default. Let's create a group or frame. Let's create a frame. So we have a frame around our text. Now what we want to do is we want to give the frame, we want to give the frame a fill, a background color, and we want it to be our button background color. So let's just set button background color, the default color. That's all we have. Now I want to create an auto layout. Shift A, make it an auto layout. Auto layout is going to give us access to padding, so we can put our inline and block padding. So let's start with inline, left and right. We'll search for button padding inline, and we'll go to block. I can just search for block since it's the only one here. Button padding block. Then what is left? Our corner radius. We are going to connect and look for our radius. Where are you? Corner radius. So I'm going to connect this to our button border radius. The default is 4. And there you have it. So now we have our MVP for our button based on the 3-tier system. The first tier, we created our colors, we created spacing and border radius values. For the second tier, we created just colors, background colors, and the content color. And for our tier 3, we created colors for our button, padding, and border radius. So in the next video, we are going to look at how we are going to export from Figma using probably Figma variables, and use AI to create our CSS variables, and maybe even look at how we can do the same thing in something like Style Dictionary. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.